Conor, first of all, thank you for sitting down to talk to us. Been away the last week, but now back and ready to get to work. A little bit has happened whilst you've been away. Of course, you've been involved. First of all, then, let's talk about the coaching staff. You brought in Richard Keogh as assistant head coach. Talk us through that one.
Yeah, so look, there's a lot of changes obviously going on. Massive off season for everyone at the club. Everyone realises that. Regarding the coaching staff, obviously there's been changes there. I've fought very hard for the coaching staff to be in place that I wanted to be in place, which has been really pleasing. Thank you for the club for that, for backing me and what I wanted. In terms of Keezy, obviously I know him a long time. Played with him at international level. He's really hungry for his coaching journey. Did a little bit with Kieran McKenna at Ipswich. Then obviously made his way to Blackpool with Neil Critchley. Took over for a couple of games when Neil lost his job, and then become part of Steve Bruce's coaching staff as well. So he's someone that's hugely motivated by coaching, by wanting to improve players, the success that he wants to try and bring to me and this coaching group. And he's a leader, and he's a high standards individual that would be a driver for the group and for the club. It's exactly what I want, and it's the same with all the rest of the coaching staff as well.
And a coach, of course, that has been involved in this division. The majority of the teams, of course, will be the same that will face this season. How key is it that he's already got that experience of being in the dugout in this division?
Yeah, I think that was a big thing as well. Knowing the league, being in and around this level now for a couple of years, so knowing what it's like to go to certain grounds, knowing what to expect from certain teams, knowing individuals at the level. The coaching staff is young, it's hungry, it's energetic, it's got so much kind of fire in them to want to improve individuals and themselves. I think that was really important for the Keezy one, that he knew the level on top of all the other attributes that he brings.
And finally on Richard, of course, a vastly experienced playing career as well, where no doubt he'll have experienced things at the top of the game where that'll be incredibly helpful when transferring that to the dugout. Yeah,
look, he knows what, I've been speaking to him every single day, and I think we've both kind of agreed that he knows what good looks like in football. He's had he's done it himself in his playing career, and then obviously on top of that he's had little stints in recent years of Ipswich or Kieran McKenna, like I just said. So he knows what kind of excellent looks like from a coaching point of view as well. So I think he'll bring bundles of ideas, information, like I said, drive every day to want to come in early and leave late, and improve himself as an individual and improve the players in the dressing room as well. So it's a really exciting point for me and for the football club as well.
Another addition then to your staff, Tom Harben, stepping up from the academy, of course, worked with you as a coach, and then under your interim spell, he came up with you. Talk us through that change.
Yeah, so I wanted Tom to stay with me along with Keezy. I think he's earned the right to. I think he was someone that I lent on a lot in my 10 games in charge. I thought he was brilliant. He obviously knows the club. He knows the link through the academy. Any kind of information or organised that needs to be done with certain players or certain coaches, it can be easily done because Tom just knows it and does it, and he's lived it. So look, he wants to do well for the club. He's been here a long time, and he was brilliant for me in my space for 10 games. Lent on him a lot. I pushed him, and every time I asked him, he did it. And he deserves his chance to be up here now. And I think between me, Keezy, and Tom, there'll be a real blend of that real hunger to want to improve, to get the group better, and ultimately for success.
Not only has he shown to you and the club that he can work with the more senior professionals, he's also got an excellent track record, hasn't he, of working with younger players from his time in the academy. He really develops and builds an identity in his teams.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he's he's a coach. He's obviously been here a long time. He's coached some very good players who have come through. I think with Tom, he was just looking for that opportunity to get up to the first team level. I really liked Tom ever since I come back to the club last year. We connected. He helped me out in certain situations for my coaching development. And Tom was looking for that opportunity, and he went and grabbed it in my 10 games, and he wants to improve and get better. I think with Richard Keogh as well, he's looking for an opportunity to express and get up the ladder and grab an opportunity when it comes to them. And Tom and Richard are are in the exact same boat, that they've got a really, really good opportunity in front of them, the exact same as myself. And we're all so hungry now for success and to have a really, really good off-season into pre-season and then into the start of the season as well.
And last on Tom, have you got an individual that knows the club inside out? He gets what it is to be from this town and also represent this club.
I think that's important. Yeah, I think Tom brings that. He brings being around the club for quite a while, but he's not just been kind of around the club. He's come up through the age groups. He was really desperate to get into the first team level. Fortunate enough, obviously, for himself, that was under me, and I know he wants to grab that opportunity now with both hands. So he wants to do so well for the club, just like myself. I want to do so well for the club, and I think with that energy running through the coaching staff, that can be really important.
More changes to be announced, of course, regarding goalkeeping coach and head of performance. But one final change that we did announce recently was Ed Davis, of course, stepping up as well. First team analyst, now focusing on set pieces. Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Yeah, so Ed was someone I worked closely with when I first came to the club last summer. Obviously, I got tasked with doing set plays from Darryl. And me and Ed struck up a really, really good relationship in terms of how we saw set plays, how I saw them. We have a really kind of a good relationship in terms of, like, I'll tell him when I don't like something, he'll disagree with me, and I really, really value that. He'll get a bit annoyed with me when I want to change something, or he'll go, "What about this?" Or but ultimately, I really trust him. I really like him as an individual. And he's really, really good at his job. He's really good at seeing certain set plays. He's really good at seeing certain scenarios that can be beneficial for us. So I really value his opinion, and he can bring something really, really, really good in terms of the set plays. Now that he's stepped up and taken it underneath his umbrella, he knows that there's going to be a big push on him to perform, to produce, just like any coach. And I'll be doing that every single day. I think all the coaching staff know that. And set plays can win and lose you games. They're huge. They're so important in the game now, in the modern game. So defensively and attacking wise, I'll be helping Ed. He'll be helping me, and there'll be a big push from that department to get him right next season.
And does your move in promoting Ed and sort of back in the analysis department, is that really important to you in terms of how you approach football now as a coach, where you sort of, a lot of it is looking back at the videos and analysing that? Does that really align with your coaching ethos?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think, look, I'm really, obsessed with the game, obsessed with every aspect of the game, and I don't want to miss out on anything. So it was really important to myself, who can take care of set plays. I didn't really want to give it to Tom Harbin or Richard Keogh, because I think they're going to have enough work on their hands with me sorting the team out. And I know Ed's really good at his job and really good at his role, and I can trust him, and it will bounce ideas off each other. And I wanted Ed to have that role because I think he can really flourish in it. Another coaching staff member who was looking for an opportunity to grow, and I know he'll be looking to grab that with both hands.
Discussing matters away from Oakwall, then, we've seen recently players doing well out on loan. Most recently, Vermael helping Oldham reach the National League playoff final, which we played next week. Of course, you've got Jack Shepherd, who's got promotion with Bradford recently as well from League Two. A lot of good things going on away from Oakwall that we can sort of channel out on as well. Yeah,
without a doubt. I think that's really important. I think the loan spells for individuals this year have been really, really positive. You can obviously add Kyron into that as well, who played a massive part in keeping Burton Albion up. But Vermael obviously has got the headlines recently because he obviously had played a big part in that game the other night against York City. He was absolutely brilliant, so hopefully he can come back now and finish the job off at Wembley and come back with a promotion under his belt. Jack Shepherd went away, got really good reviews, come back to the club with a promotion under his belt, and obviously Kyron played a big part in keeping Burton Albion up. So from them three, there'll be like new signings coming back under me. Have spoken to them all individually, since the off season, and I'm really excited to get them in now for pre-season as new signings with more experience, and they can add loads to the group, no doubt.
And along with Casper Lapata, of course, as well, who's been playing in the Scottish Premier League regularly. Does that experience, ultimately it benefits the player, but it also benefits the club, doesn't it?
Yeah, of course. I think it's really important that when you go out on loan, you make it a successful one, opportunity to play games. That's what every footballer wants to do. And to them boys, full credit to them. And it's beneficial for them. It's beneficial for us. and it's beneficial to the football club, from their point of view. So hopefully they can now have a really good off-season, make sure they keep working and come back in pre-season ready to go, fit and firing, because they'll be, a vastly important part of the squads.
As you say, looking forward to getting everyone back in now. It'll be quicker than we think. It'll come around fast, of course, but just talk to us from, about what you've expected from the players in this off-season, because, of course, important time to recharge the batteries, get a break, but you've also emphasised the point of, look after yourself, and you've got them coming back in, haven't you, over the summer?
Yeah, so I just felt, when we finished at Reading, and then obviously the first day back for pre-season, it's a long time to not go without to see the lads. I'm making a big thing on fitness and getting fitter. We want to go back to the high press, high energy, attacking style of play football. And I just felt like we weren't quite at the fitness levels that we needed to be to do that. So I've got the lads coming in for 4 different check-in days over the course of the off-season. So for 4 days they have to come in, do their tests, do their running, and just have a little bit of contact time with them, that they're not just always away from the club. I want to keep an eye on them, and I think that's really, really important. So they've got 4 days to come in between the Reading game to our first day back in pre-season, just to keep eyes on them, keep tabs on them, make sure that they're at a high level of what I expect. And then obviously we'll all be together then for the first day of pre-season again.
And whilst the focus, as you've said, will be on making sure the players are prepared for that first game of the league campaign, you're also very keen, aren't you, to get them involved in the community, sort of get that connection with the fan base, which, is vitally important as we look to attack next season.
Yeah, I think the connection, what I've found since coming back to the club, the connection between team and fans haven't been there. I think it's lost its touch a little bit. I think the fans and the players have been a little bit distant. That's what I've observed personally. And we need to get back to having that close connection and that close bond. So I'll have certain bits for the players lined up to go see certain fans, or to go out to the community and try and get that bond back. I know obviously ultimately the fans want to see them, running hard for the football club and for their team, and I fully agree. So one of the things in the pre-season schedule that I've got organised is I'm going to get a couple of Barnsley fans to come in and present to the players, come in and present what the football club means to the town, what it means to the fans, and know when they go out on a Saturday or a Friday night or a Tuesday night, whatever it might be, what they're representing. I think that the players need to know that. They need to know what the fans demand of them, and what they're running out for and what they're representing. So one of the days in pre-season, we're organising as we speak. We're going to bring in a couple of fans to put a presentation together and to show the players what it means to play for this club.
Yeah, and finally then, for this sort of update in pre-season, just tell us how much you're looking forward to the late June when the players return, because you had a short stint last season, and I'm sure now it feels like a fresh start. You've got you can imprint your own style and identity onto this team. You've got all summer to do that. How much you look forward to sort of that preparation and then the first game of the season? Yeah,
look, there's loads of work to do, and I know that there's so much work going on in the background, coaching staff, players. There's bits going around the building, obviously, and I want a real new, fresh energy, fresh look, fresh feel around the place. With that, when the players come back, it's like, oh, this place means business. I'm going to make a big point to this coaching staff. I've already done it to the kind of wider staff when I had a meeting after Reading, but now with the new coaching staff, I don't want people, moaning about what we don't have. It's what making the most of what we do have. I'm sick and tired of people going, oh, we don't have this, or that's not good enough. Right, well, let's change it. That's my big message to the outer staff, to the coaching staff. And let's make the most of the opportunity that we got ahead of ourselves, because with the work that I'm looking to do day by day, hopefully then that will feed out to the staff, to the players, and ultimately then for a good off-season and heading into a good pre-season, laying the foundations for the start of the season ready to go.
Thanks, Conor.
Cheers.